भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar Ashram. We all know that it's a very special blessing to have gathered here during this auspicious time in a high energy place, and to be able to sing together this high energy mantra, a high powered mantra. It is no small grace, and in appreciation, in adoration, in celebration of this grace, we have offered the Nama lotuses at the lotus feet of Bhagwan for day after day after day. For more than 3.5 years we have had this Jnana Snan, meaning baptism. A kind of baptism is taking a holy bath. In what? In Nama Ganga. And twice a day. And the Nama continues in between the two also, all through the day. We are very, very grateful to Bhagwan for this. And from yesterday, we have started to share Bhagwan's Divya Vani, the divine voice of Bhagwan, which is truly the gospel. Whatever Bhagwan spoke in those days have been collected from many sources, and we shall read as much as possible every day. Now, in continuation of yesterday, we shall see what Bhagwan says about himself. He says, he asks himself, where is Yogi Ramsuratkumar? A big smile. And then he continued to say, people think he is only from here to here, pointing to his head and his feet. Yogi Ramsuratkumar is here, there, everywhere, everywhere. And he kept on saying it again and again, emphatically. And then he continued, he is in all of you are in him. There is no place where this beggar is not. A very profound statement. We understand when Bhagwan says, pointing to his head and the feet, that he is not just from this to this. He is not just this body or this figure. He is here, there, everywhere. There is no place where this beggar is not. And then he says, he is in all of you, and all of you are in him. What does he mean by that? We know, we all think that we are the body. So when we imagine God, we think that God is inside us, inside the body. When we say we have a heart and Bhagwan is residing in the heart, we literally mean the inside. So surely Bhagwan is inside all of us. And then what does he mean? That all of you are in me. When this beggar is here, there, everywhere, there is no place where he is not. Then he is all pervasive. And because he is God, he is all knowing. And he is almighty. There is nothing that he cannot do. There is no place where he is not. And there is nothing that he does not know. So he is all pervasive, all knowing, all powerful, almighty. In truth, Bhagwan is this all-pervasive, supreme consciousness. That is his true form. That is what we call Chaitanya. Inside all of us is Chaitanya, and our every breath is rooted in that. Every breath of everybody, every creature, not only the human beings, but the animals and the plant. The Chaitanya inside, we call him Antaryam, the indweller. Every breath is rooted in that. But now, he is also all-pervasive. So this Chaitanya is everywhere, and all of us are in him. Even our thoughts, we all have consciousness. We have our thoughts. We become conscious of our thoughts, so we know our thoughts. Even to know the thoughts that come to us, we need consciousness. We have to be conscious of our thoughts. We become conscious of our thoughts. So, in the sea of consciousness, in the samudra of consciousness, all of us are situated. And of course, inside each of us also, this Chaitanya is there, from which our every breath starts. So he is in all of us, and all of us are in him. We are at once in this all-pervasive consciousness, and he is inside us, and it is he who has become our very breath. And because of this breath, we are alive. Our eyes are able to see, our ears are able to hear, our brain is able to work, our body is able to move. So Bhagwan is right inside all of us. Now, if Bhagwan is inside us, why is that there is so much Adharma going on in the world? Every day we hear some unpleasant news, uncontrollably violent. Why is that? God is everywhere and he is almighty. He is all pervasive, and there is nothing that he cannot do. So why is that? He is not doing anything at all. He is inside all of us, and all of us are in him. Surely he must do something to stop this adharma. Why is he not doing it? That is the question every one of us get. Why is that this divine beggar is not doing anything? Even we ourselves make mistakes. We ourselves commit sins. Then where does he go at it? Now, generally, God or the Guru is in the form of witness consciousness. He is simply witnessing everything. And that is why he is indifferent to what we are doing. He doesn't participate in our life. But the minute you feel a love for God, you call out his name, the same witness consciousness now becomes a personification of consciousness, meaning our personal God, whose name we had called out. He begins to participate in our life. So when you keep chanting the name, you can be sure He is present. He is present inside us, and all of us are present in Him. Which means He knows your own struggles, your thoughts, your prayers. And now He would be able to stop you when you do any mistakes. But then you have to keep calling out. You have to keep chanting the name. It's only when you chant the name He comes alive. Otherwise, He's a mere witness, indifferent, whether you do dharma or adharma. Simply watching. So we have to make Him our personal God so that He lives with us as our companion, all the time helping, guiding and protecting us. So let us remember this very important. In another saying, Bhagwan says, if anybody should think that this beggar is only from the head to foot, that this beggar is only this body, they will only become more narrow-minded, selfish and miserable. This beggar is here, there, everywhere. He is in all of you. All of you are in Him. There is nothing that He does not know. But how will you know that He knows? Only when you call out His name. The one who has been witnessing, simply witnessing and not doing anything at all, would suddenly come alive as your personal God the minute you call out His name. This is what Bhagwan means when He says, when you call out the name of God, God is instantly present. Does that mean He was not present before? He was. But He was there as a witness consciousness. Just witnessing. And then somebody asks Bhagwan, you have attained the highest. Then why do you keep on working ceaselessly? We see you smoking all the time. Smoking was not a joy for him. It's not in the way people are smoking, generally. In fact, before he attained purnatva, if somebody smoked at the same place, he would vomit. He would hastily run away from the place. But after purnatva, after he was commissioned with a mission, it was very difficult for him to be in the heavy vibrations of people. And when he complained, this is what Bhagwan said. It's Bhagwan's words. When this beggar complained, Father said, you take to smoking, then you will be able to handle this world. Now we cannot go into the depth of these statements with our limited knowledge, but enough to know that he was not doing it for the joy of it or anything. In fact, as I said yesterday, whenever he smoked, it affected him, and he would keep a piece of gooseberry in a corner of his mouth in order to mitigate the harmful effect of smoking. So much so he lost all sense of taste in the end. So, when this question was asked, why do you work ceaselessly? Because he was also smoking ceaselessly for the sake of the work. You know what he said? Pat came the reply from him. Can you tell me why the sun shines? Why the tree bears fruits? And why the river is giving water? It is in the very nature. It is in the nature of the sun to shine. It is in the nature of a river to give water for drinking to all the creatures. Why does the wind blow? It is all in the very nature. So the very nature of a great soul, a Mahatma, is giving. Giving and giving and giving without asking for anything in return. And for Bhagwan to give, he had to smoke. Today, I heard a story from one of the devotees, one of the visitors, who said he was coming to Bhagwan from 79. There were many, many occasions he spent long hours with Bhagwan, sometimes till 2 o'clock early morning. One of those times, he was staying in one of the ashrams, local ashrams, and coming to see Bhagwan. So when he was back in the ashram, one foreign devotee there spoke ill of Yogi Ramsuratkumar, as though he was a substandard Mahatma. He had nothing at all great in him. Then the devotee said, "Don't say like this. He is my Guru. He is very divine. I have had many experiences with him. How could you say like this?" No, you don't know. You people are carried away. You will know who he is soon. He is very bad. And then they all went inside the dining hall to eat. And they were given a cup of payasam, the kheer. Now when this foreigner who criticized heavily our Swami, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, just lifted his cup of payasam, and suddenly his hand began to shake violently, and the whole kheer fell on his person, fell on his body. And then the devotee of Yogi Ramsuratkumar said, "You could not hold a cup steadily and you are criticizing Yogi Ramsuratkumar? Just see what happened to you. Never say bad things about Mahatmas without knowing. We are judging people all the time with our limited knowledge. In fact, the great ones, the Mahatmas, would all agree that they are all one. They have no quarrels at all with each other. They are all one. Bhagwan used to say that he never bathed for 40 years. He was wearing very dirty, torn clothes. And Kanchi Paramacharya, you know how many times he had his bath and how he did puja, everything. Bhagwan said, we had oneness. Though we are far apart in appearance and in our demeanor, in truth, we are one and the same. We have that oneness with each other. So never should we criticize any Mahatma without knowing what is involved. And what happens? We commit a sin, a heavy sin, for which one day we have to pray. And we saw in this case how he immediately paid. He lost his balance. He lost the steadiness of his hand. We shall now offer our today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagwan. Bhagwan, we beg you again and again, a million times for your immediate divine intervention to bring forth a dharmic normalcy to today's world. Today's world is a world of violence. There is no unity, harmony, or order or discipline. People just live any way they like and create a philosophy to suit themselves to justify what they are doing. There is already the war going on between the two countries with its own justification. But then we have been seeing the devastating effects of this war. And there are sudden attacks of killer diseases and violent furies of nature and those terrible accidents. We beg you, Bhagwan, to bring in harmony, order and discipline into the lives of people so that people will live a dharmic life with remembrance of God. And please stop this war immediately so that peace be prevalent. And there should be no mention of the word war among the countries of the world. We also beg you to keep those killer diseases and the furies of nature and those terrible accidents under control. And we beg you again to uproot all the negativities of the human mind which are responsible for today's world of violence. Bhagwan, we beg you, for the sake of the whole world, whatever country people belong to, whatever language they speak, whatever religion they have embraced, they also suffer from their past bad karmas, and that without help or protection. They may not even believe in rebirth or the karmas, and yet the law of karma takes over. It doesn't wait for anybody's faith. We only beg you to reach out to all of them and do the needful. We beg you again to protect all those people, unselfish people who have been slogging for the sake of the welfare of others from unnecessary, unworthy, unhealthy criticisms and aspersion. We also beg you to give a big boost to the economy of the country and promote the growth in varied fields of activity for India so that India would become the world teacher, the highest status, to conduct the whole world in the path of Dharma. We also pray to you in all earnestness and sincerity for ceaseless and joyful chanting of your powerful name and unbroken remembrance of your teachings and leelas, so that we make it all into Atma Shakti. Bhagwan, we know that all of us are only instruments in your hands, but we beg you to bless us to be only sattvic instruments and not rakshasic elements. Please bless us to run our everyday life as an offering to you and not be caught by the temptations of Maya. We also seek that ultimate state of being, the state of bliss and peace, which is yours. But then we need to be purified. Our mind is full of those residual, latent tendencies of the past karmas, because of which there is heavy fear, an attack of heavy fear at times, which might even turn into killer fear. And then the anger flaring up like fire, causing poison around, jealousy and passion and self-pride and growing desires for worldly possessions, and some of them turn into our needs. And finally, sorrow turning into depression and lifelong medicine. Medicine becomes our food. So pathetic. But then you have given us the saving grace. You said The name of the Divine is a very powerful weapon against our past karmas. We take refuge in your powerful name and seek your blessings for our early purification. And wherever we live, whatever work falls into our hand as our duty, we know it's all your work. You alone exist. And we should be able to do it in the spirit of service to you, and that joyfully, without any unhealthy criticism, competition or jealousy, so that all the work that we do will become Atma Shakti. Bhagwan, please bless us to practice acceptance of whatever life brings to us, be it a joy or sorrow. Coming from you, it can only be a great blessing, a blessing meant for our spiritual transformation, meant for our greater good, meant for our closer kinship with you. When a bad karma begins to play up, we get punished because the bad karma is paying back. It's a debt, even a word of torture. Be sure will come back to you one day, and in your most vulnerable moment at that. A word of praise will also be waiting around to come back to you one day. And therefore, when the bad karma takes over, we collapse. We know that the life turns over completely and everything misfires. We resent God and His grace, feeling let down. We try to move away from Him, and then we blame all the others bitterly for our own failures, little realizing we have invited our own sufferings by our past karmas. Please know, whatever you suffer from is something that you have given to somebody. You have hurt somebody. You have tortured somebody. And their crying, their soulful crying will not go waste. It will come back to you, mostly in the next birth. And that's why we keep saying, we don't know why we are suffering at all. We have not done any harm to anybody. We have lived a virtuous life all along. We don't know why we should suffer. That may be now, but your past karmas. The sufferings are reflections of your past karmas. See, God being very compassionate and generous, He puts a blessing even in the punishment. And what does it do? It pushes you back towards God. It cuts off all that you hold as security, so that you would come to know God is your only security. So a higher wisdom is born out of this adversity, which purifies our mind. And in the purified mind, we'll be able to feel the living, vibrant presence of God. And Bhagwan, please bless us to know that it is your will that's behind all the happenings of life and the world. Please bless us to be grateful to you, even for the sufferings of life, because we now know they are greater blessings and blessings in disguise. We seek your powerful blessings for all the species of the cosmos to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we seek redemption, liberation from the vicious cycle of repeated births and deaths. We seek dissolution. We who have been seeking only solutions endlessly for the problems of life now seek a dissolution of the root cause of this vicious cycle. And what is it? It is the aham bhav. It is that utter selfishness of I and mine. We beg you, Bhagwan, to approve this aham bhav and promote atma bhavam in us, so that we be blessed with that immortal life, that eternal living in merger with God, or eternal servitude to you, that eternal supreme divinity. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.